Well, there's not been much to laugh about so far in federal court through 36 days of trial. That changed today, though, with Tony Suave on the stand. He's a Detroit business contractor who said he was extorted by the mayor, but he said a few things that have made people burst out into laughter more than a few times. I'll tell you about one of those in just a second, but first let's get you caught up on what's happened today. Suave is a business titan who testified yesterday that then Mayor Kilpatrick held up his $50 million city sewer contract, and when he asked him why, the mayor told him it was because he hadn't hired his friend Bobby Ferguson as a subcontractor. Suave said he felt threatened by the mayor. Today, though, defense lawyers tried to paint Suave as a ruthless businessman who couldn't have built his $2.5 million, or I should say billion-dollar company without being sort of intimidating himself. They said he couldn't have been intimidated by anyone, much less the mayor. Suave then said to that lawyer who had suggested he was an intimidating force, "No, actually, I'm a lovable guy." Well, that reduced the entire courtroom to laughter, including Kilpatrick and Bobby Ferguson. Defense lawyers also suggested that the reason Kilpatrick had a problem with Suave's subcontractor was legitimate. They said it was because they were afraid it was just a shell, a minority front. In other words, they were concerned Suave was partnering with somebody who was a minority just so he could receive extra points on the bid process. They said they wanted to replace him with Bobby Ferguson because he was a legitimate contractor. Now, I should point out that yesterday Suave said he had to give the mayor lavish gifts like $6,000 watches and free purses and boots, a lot of trips on his jet. That has not so far been discussed by defense lawyers who have had a chance to cross-examine him. They have mostly just said that Mr. Suave probably wanted to keep the mayor as he wanted to keep other politicians happy, and it was in his best interest to do that, but they have not gone out of their way to bring up these fancy jet trips and other things, perhaps as a strategic move so jurors forget about that. We are live blogging at WXYZ.com if you want to follow along with today's testimony. Live at the federal courthouse downtown, I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.